Hey everybody, this is TotalGamerJunkie. I want to welcome you all back to my channel. And I want to apologize for not uploading really any Life is Strange videos, because I've been getting some new shifts at work, and plus I'm doing online courses, so I haven't actually had the time, but I'm trying to cut back now, so, because there's this thing coming up in November, some supernovas, something like that, and I'm saving up money to go to it. Or some, I forget, some Comic Con, or whatever. We don't even have Comic Con in Australia. It's something. Anyways, I found out from Jade Seto that the release date, that issue 11 was released on Comixology, and we also got the release date. So, issue 11 will be out on December 11th, and that's not all. We actually got, in the description for what this issue is about, we also get the release date of Life is Strange 2 Episode 5, which is December 3rd. Now I want to read the description here and go over it and what it could mean, as well as go over this image, because it is pretty cool looking. So anyways, the description, this is what it says for issue 11. The time-twisting road trip hits a speed bump, as Max realizes she may not know her friends as well as thinks. It shouldn't be as well as she thinks, not well as thinks, but that's what they put, so. Acclaimed writers Emma Vasile and artist Claudia Lenardi, Claudia Lenardi, and Andrea Izu continue the highly anticipated third arc of the official comic, set in the world of the award-winning game from Square Enix and Dotnoid. Life is Strange 2 Episode 5 will be released December 3rd on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Okay, so there you have it. We got not only the release date for issue 11, we also got the release date for Episode 5 of Life is Strange 2. Now, why they chose to release this information on Comixology, I have no idea. But, like, that's just the thing that, if you remember... Sorry, something in my throat. If you remember, with the last issue that came out, I believe it was, of issue 8, they changed that release date so it would come out a day before episode 4 came out of Life is Strange 2. Because issue 8 was released the 21st, and 21st of August, and episode 4 was released the 22nd of August. But I played it on the 23rd because I'm in Australia, so the time zone is different for the Life is Strange games. So yeah, I think that's pretty interesting that they have the release date of episode 5 in the comics in the comics description. Which seems a bit weird, but you know, it just fuels more theories into the fire pit of theories that I've got. So anyways, I want to go over this image, what we see, and what the description can tell us about this new issue. Alright, so what we can see from this image is we got Max here and surrounded by a bunch of butterflies, and she's behind the clock, okay? And is that Roman numerals? I don't know my Roman numeral numbers, but it's basically the Star Wars numbers, you know, like for episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's how they're played out. So we're just gonna call them Star Wars numbers, okay? Now, what's interesting about the background is Max's shirt, right? How it's connected to the clock. They're the same color. So if you zoom in closely, you can see that Max's body it's blended into the background, and you see all these butterflies. What I think is that Max is having another, like, her realities are colliding and something like that, because you can see that she's crying. I think she's going to be getting pulled back and forth between realities, or her body's going to start rejecting this reality, and she is going to start disappearing, you know, just fade from existence. If you remember in issue 4 of Dust, where Max slowly begins to disappear when she's sitting next to Chloe, I believe something like that is going to happen. Or you know, maybe a positive note, she explodes into a bunch of blue butterflies and travels all over the world. But you know, imagine if they ended it that way. It'd be like, that would piss off a lot of people. I know I would be. I know I wouldn't be happy. It'd It'd be like, what? So she's just become a bunch of butterflies. And it's like, oh my god, spoiler alert. It's like shocking twist. The butterfly that gives Max her powers is Max herself. She's the butterfly. Mind blown. Now let's go over the description now that we've taken a look at the page. The time-twisting road trip hits a speed bump as Max realizes she may not know her friends as well as Sphinx. It should be she Sphinx, but it just says as Sphinx. Now that's interesting the way it says it. The time-twisting road trip. So this basically for me is saying that in issues 9 and 10, Max will be using her powers. Because they can't call a time-twisting road trip if Max doesn't use her powers, even though she can, as we all know, rewind. But if she doesn't use her powers, then how can it be a time-twisting road trip? It just can't. And so to me, this is 100% proof that Max will be using her powers in Arc 3. Now, the next part, as Max realizes she may not know her friends as well as she thinks. I'm saying she thinks, even though it says as thinks, because she thinks makes more sense to me. But you know what? Let's not get into that right now. So what does that mean? She may not know her friends as well as she thinks. Well, obviously, for me, this implies Rachel, because as we know, we thought Rachel was this person, but then you go through, we thought Rachel was just like Chloe's best friend and lover. For me, that's canon. I consider that canon in the game, that they were together. But we find out that Rachel had been cheating on Chloe behind her back with Frank Bowers. She even, I believe she slept with Mark Jefferson. I do believe that. And she was just doing all this shady shit behind Chloe's back. So could that possibly happen? Because as we know, in the game, she wanted to go to Seattle and be an actress. So who's to say that if like Chloe's in the way of her goals, that she might toss Chloe aside to get what she wants. But this may not be Chloe, you know. It may not be about Rachel, this sentence. It may be about Tristan. Maybe like, and this is a theory I thought of, maybe Tristan's backstory is a lie. The way he tells Max about how he got his powers isn't true, and he got them some other way. That would be very interesting. But, you know, as we all know, the drug dealers did recognize him. I know that's what some of you people are going to be putting in the comments, so Tristan's backstory has to be true. But who's to say he couldn't have changed it up a bit? Like, think of a retcon, for example, you know? They keep the same stuff, but they change small details or add stuff. You know what I mean? They could do something like that. But it could also mean, what about the High Seas band? Because they've all become friends now, and so maybe one of them has the secret, or it could even be Paul. You know, the brother of the band leader. I forget who's the band. No, he's the brother of one of the band members of the High Seas. I forget their names. I got to go back to the High Seas because I didn't really get to see much of them to make an impact in their names, so I keep forgetting. Yeah, but anyways, it could be, I think, like, this could also be Callie. What if Callie was working with the drug dealers or something? Like, she was a buyer, but she also made a deal with them to buy drugs. Whenever she hosted parties, she'd let the drug dealers know, and the drug dealers would supply her with money. I mean, not supply her with money, supply her... Well, yeah, she'd pay for drugs, she'd get the drugs, the drug dealers would get the money, and then I guess she could give the drugs to her friends and that, and maybe make a profit of it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Oh, God. Yeah, but anyway, so this is pretty interesting. I gotta say, out of all the issues so far, I'm most hyped to see this one. Because of that mystery, what friend is it talking about? You know, so anyways, that's really all I wanted to talk about. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. This is TotalGamerJunkie, signing off.